Is the thought of an open closet and what could possibly be lying within in the darkness enough to scare you? Well, if it is, then maybe The Boogeyman is the film for you, the horror film for you. Is it the horror film for me? I'm not a big horror fan. Let's find out what I thought of this one. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Wow, horror film 2 nights on the trot. What is going on? It's not my forte, it's not my go-to genre, but there we go. Tonight I sat down and I have watched The Boogeyman, rated 15 and runs for 1 hour and 38 minutes. This is the 2023 new film, The Boogeyman. No relation or to any other film of that title that has come out before. I know there have been some. This film here comes at us directed by Rob Savage and it's written by Scott Beck, Brian Woods and Mark Heyman. It's actually based upon a Stephen King short story that in 1973 appeared in Cavalier magazine. The film stars Sophie Thatcher as Sadie Harper. Now, you may remember her. She has recently been in The Book of Boba Fett as Drash. I think she's one of those bike chicks, or that little biker gang, that Vespa gang that rides around. The film also stars Chris Messina as Will Harper, her father, and Vivian Lyra Blair as Sawyer Harper, who's the younger daughter. And she has also been in Star Wars herself as the young Princess Leia in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series on Disney+. So you have 2 actresses that have been in Star Wars, and interestingly also, their surnames are Thatcher and Blair respectively. 2 long-serving Prime Ministers of the United Kingdom there. There we go, just a little bit of trivia for you. But anyway, so this film here, we catch up with this family, the Harpers. They've recently lost their mother, so they are going through a difficult time. And their father is a psychologist, and he has people come to see him, you know, his clientele and that sort of thing. And on this one occasion, this fella comes to see him who has lost all 3 of his daughters, and people believe that he has killed them. But each of his daughters have died and have said that the Boogeyman has done it, that their closet has been found open and something has come and killed them. And this starts happening to Sawyer Harper. She starts seeing things in the closet, things coming out of the closet inexplicably opening, and it goes on to affect Sadie as well. All the while, Sadie, the older of the Harper sisters, she is struggling with issues at school, with the loss of her mother, friends turning against her, and all this sort of stuff. So the film on 2 fronts is dealing with this horrific experience of what's going on in the household, while dealing with the trauma of a lost parent. And we go on this journey with these characters where they have to overcome the loss of a parent and having to let go, but at the same time having to fight against whatever it is that's stalking them in the darkness. And you know what? This is quite an effective horror film for jump scares and that sort of thing. There's not many killings, there's not blood, there's not gruesomeness or anything like that. It's all pretty much done as jump scares in the darkness. Now, it is a very dark film. It's best to watch it with the lights off, in the darkness, no ambient light coming in from anywhere, because the film plays around with the thought of the darkness and what is in it, and it is very effective in what it does. the creature that is running around in the darkness hunting them, you don't get to see it, not until the very end of the film, and even then a lot of it is left to your imagination. So all we get to see is shadows in the darkness, and you're questioning, is there something there or isn't there something there? Is that a set of eyes I can see, and this sort of a thing. You're seeing what the characters can see in the darkness, which isn't a lot. So it's very effective in that sense of what it does. Now, Sophie Thatcher, who plays Sadie Harper, the older of the sisters, she goes, like I said, on this journey. She goes and finds the household where this geezer originally came from. She meets up with the wife of him and the mother of these children, who herself is trying to hunt these creatures. And do you know what? It delivers. This film delivered for me. It's got strong performances all round. It's very well directed. It does have the jump scares there. It has the intensity that's required of questioning what exactly it is in the darkness. You've got a good design with the creature itself. Now, some of the people who worked on this are from the TV show Stranger Things, I believe. And there's elements in this, towards the end of this film, where you do see sort of nods to Stranger Things and also to some of Stephen King's other works. I've got elements of thingy coming from it as well. It from, you know, with the clown Pennywise. I won't say what they are, but there's little elements that said that reminds me of that. This reminds me of Stranger Things. But yes, a very good, very tense horror film. And I'm quite surprised by it, because it takes its time. It takes its time to set up the characters and the dynamic, what's going on with them. It doesn't throw you in too deep. It's a nice taut run time at 98 minutes, so it doesn't overstay its welcome. Obviously, that's including the words at the end of the film. So you're looking at about 92 minutes of screen time of film. And it delivers in droves. For me, anyway. This is my kind of a horror film. Not that it was overly scary, but it was effective in what it had to do. Everything came together and ultimately worked within this story, and I'm happy for that. Yeah, and interestingly enough, this was actually a film that was meant to go straight to Hulu, but after some audiences saw it, test screenings and that, and the response that they gave it a big budget cinematic release, and it was worthy of it. It's a decent film. Thumbs up.